Hi everyone. Today I am going to explain how to develop a RESTful web services by using JAX-RS and Jersey with the help of Maven. First we need to download the Glassfish Jersey bundle dependency from the Maven repository. This is the Maven repository link. You can download the dependencies, and then these are the requirements we need to develop the application. I'm used Java 8, Eclipse IDE, and then Apache Tomcat 8.5, and then the Maven version 3.39. So these are the requirements we need to develop the RESTful web services. In Eclipse IDE, create a new project with the Maven and then provide the group ID and artifact ID. Okay, so here click next and type in the filter web app. The Maven archetype should be the web app. Here provide the group ID and then the artifact ID and the version name and then the package name. Everything you can provide it here for your Maven project. I given the group ID as com.talk2amar.projects and then the artifact ID is Maven demo and the version I changed 1.0. So once you clicked OK, the project will created successfully in your workspace, and then go to the pom.xml and then make sure dependencies are there or not. Here we need to add the Glassfish Jersey dependencies. So you can download the Jersey bundle JAX-RS dependency from Maven repository. So this is the Maven dependency. We need to add it in the pom.xml. Glassfish Jersey bundle dependencies. Okay, and also we need to add the servlet dependency for the scope provider. Okay, here I am going to add it servlet dependency. Okay, so this is the Java servlet API dependency with the scope of provider. Okay, then we need to add the Maven compiler plugin in the pom.xml build tag. Okay, so before that I'm just formatting the XML. In the build tag you need to add the plugin Maven compiler plugin. You need to add it. So here I am adding the Maven compiler plugin version 3.7.0 and then the source is 1.8 and target is also 1.8. Okay, the source and target is mentioning is a Java version. Next thing, update your Maven project in your Eclipse. So I am just cleaning the project. All the dependencies will download into your machine, and then update your project configuration. Your project configuration should be the support 1.8 Java version. Okay, again I am refreshing that. Okay, so we added the dependencies and everything. Next one, create a package under the source main Java directory. The package name I am giving com.talk2amar.maven demo. Okay, again I am going to create another one package. Okay, resource. Okay, I am just renamed that. I am not creating another one. I just renamed it resource. So under the com talk to our project Maven demo resources, all the resource class file I am going to write it here under this package. For example, here I added the call resources. For these resources I added the path is call service. Okay, the next thing I am going to add one get API method, so that I added the get annotation, and then the path is calls. So whoever calling this API call service / calls get API, it will return the response Q under OK with the response body as a calls entity. Okay, and then the producers is the JSON. So here I am defining a method public list of calls resources. I mean the list of calls in the response object. So here I am just defining a methods. Okay, so list of calls. For that I am going to create a model for calls, and then I am going to provide a 3 attributes. One is the call ID, and then another one is the call type, and then the timestamp. Like that I am going to add it in the model. Instead of call type I will use call name. Okay, the timestamp. So these are the 3 attributes I am going to add it in the model to return in the response. Here I am just creating a setter method and getter method. Here I am just declaring a list of calls object. Here I am just declaring array list of calls list equal to new of array list, and then this list should return in the calls endpoint. Okay, here I am just defining a calls object, and then I am setting a values call ID, call name, and then the timestamp. Here the call ID I given C09101, and then the call name is something we can provide like mobile network PUC, and then the call timestamp I am going to add it the current milliseconds. Okay, so every time if you calling the call services calls API, the current timestamp will be updated. I mean the timestamp will be updated. The current timestamp value will be there in the timestamp attribute. And then I am just added the calls object in the calls list array, and then I return that calls list. Okay, so we created the resources and model, and then in the pom.xml we added the glassfish dependency and then the Maven compiler plugin. Okay, so far we did this. And then we added the dependencies, everything. Now we need to focus on the Web.xml. Web.xml file will be there under the web.inf directory. Before that I just want to make sure this application is working fine or not. In the welcome file, the index.html, I just added the Maven JAX-RS jersey application. I want to make sure this application is running fine without any issues. I want to make sure that. So if you type the URL up to the context path in the browser, this HTML file will call, and then it will show you the HTML content. So we added the glass fish jersey bundles. For that glass fish jersey bundles, we need to map the we need to add the servlet in the web.xml file. So here the servlet name and then the servlet class. Servlet name I am going to provide it here like Jersey RESTful application, and then the servlet class is r.glassfish.jersey.servlet.servlet container. For this servlet we need to provide the init param. So this init param we need to provide the name and value. It's like a key pair value. The init param is Jersey config server provider packages. The Jersey config server provider packages should be your package name. The base package name you have to provide it in the init parameter value for the Jersey config provider packages. Okay, and then for this servlet, the Jersey RESTful application servlet we defined in the Web.xml, right? For that we need to define the URL pattern, so that we need to add the servlet mapping for Jersey RESTful application servlet. The URL pattern I am giving /rest. So whoever calling the API rest/call services.calls, that call service resource will be invoke. I mean the get API will be invoke. Okay, so far everything is done. We added the servlet in the Web.xml file. This is the call resource class file, and then the call model, and then this is the index.html file. Want to make sure that the application is working fine, and then this is the Web.xml file. Okay, so just want to make sure that everything is fine. Okay, then do the Maven build clean install. If you do the Maven build clean install, under the target folder, Maven will generate a war file to you to deploy this application into web server. Okay, so the build is success. Once the build is success, you can go to the target directory. Okay, so look at here the Maven demo. The war file has been generated under this path. I just copying that path into my Tomcat server under the web apps directory. Okay, so here in the bin Apache Tomcat bin directory, I just starting the Tomcat by executing the startup.batch file in the Windows. So look at here, you can see the log deploying web application. Okay, the Maven demo. So this is the API we developed, and then we calling Maven demo rest/call service/calls. Okay, so this is the web apps directory. The Maven demo has deployed successfully into the Tomcat by using the Maven. Okay, and then this is the URL pattern is /rest, Maven demo rest, and then the call service, the class level path we added, right? And then the method level call we added calls, call service/calls. Okay, so this API is returning the call ID, call name, and then the timestamp in the response. So timestamp I added the current time in milliseconds, right? For every request the timestamp is changing. So look at here. Thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe my YouTube channel. Thank you.